IRS seizure of accounts that it's suspicious of because of the $10,000 cash. Let's see. There's the I guess RICO laws or whatever they are that doesn't let you take out or deposit or withdraw $10,000 in cash without reporting it from your bank to the federal government. And so then there's a store who does a lot of business in cash, and her day's receipts are somewhere, in the vicinity of 10,000, a little bit south of that, and she deposits every day a little bit less than $10,000. Well, the bank, because the bank didn't want to get audited by the IRS, the bank is overly aggressive in their reporting of suspicious accounts. So the bank reported her to the feds. So then the IRS goes in and they seize this store's accounts. No warning, no warrant, no nothing. They just seize her bank accounts. And now this woman can't, she's in trouble. She can't run her business. And it's all because they thought that they needed to maybe look at some possibility of considering somebody who has a pattern of behavior that is sort of like guys who tend to be criminals. And because of all of that, they, without judge's permission, without warrant, without warning, without filing any charges, without even coming close to filing any charges, they seize her bank accounts. And these are, the feds and I think local governments too can seize property, and then the victim, citizen victim, has to file suit and file paperwork and all of this kind of stuff to try to recover their own property. And one of the really shocking things I saw in this article was, even if you win and get your property back, they keep a percentage of it. Even if this improperly seized private property that was seized by the government without permission, even if it's proven that they had no right and no reason to seize your property and they have to give it back, they don't pay your legal costs, and they keep a percentage of your property just because they can.
And this is what's so onerous about it too. The citizen, the person whose property has been confiscated, has the burden of proof.
Right.
Nowhere else in law is that applicable. But you have to prove you didn't do what they suspect you of. There's no such thing as due process in that. Not at all. And every congressman, every senator ought to be on this and talking about stories like this. But this isn't a sexy issue for them because, hey, that means we don't have to allocate so much for that agency. They're just going to rake their own in. And this happens at the county level when we talk about drug seizures and sheriff departments actually confiscating people's houses because of suspicion that someone was dealing out of that house, or stealing, confiscating someone's car because it might, they think, maybe have been used to transport narcotics or something like this. And I don't see how, if your nephew, say, is involved in the drug trade and borrows your car and you are unaware of that first fact and you willingly let him use the car, how you become an accessory to that, which is what they're treating you like, except there's no trial. This is an issue that conservatives, Republicans, libertarians, and everybody on the rightward end of the spectrum, plus plenty of people on the leftward end of the spectrum, should be able to get behind. And this should be an issue that resonates with everybody. And we can definitely start finding and moving more of these stories. I'm glad this is hitting social media now, but it comes up and then it goes away. It comes up and then it goes away. When we talk about moving the cultural needle, we have to make these things stick. And that is what I want to see coming out of this story.
Absolutely, because it is, we've got a very powerful narrative, like Ryan was talking about earlier. These are stories that have sad faces. We have closed businesses. We have fired employees because the government overreached, the government exceeded their authority, the government sought money and funding that was beyond what was allocated to them via legal taxation. And this is a government out of control, government that needs to be stopped. It needs to be starved. Regular people like me are wondering, how the hell are they getting away with this? How is this even legal? How is it that this shop owner, this lady, and I'm looking at her picture right now, she's like trying to cook something. And she looks like, my aunt. I mean, she's just a nice, kindly old lady. How is it that she's having a hard time proving that she's right? How is it that the IRS is getting away with this? And this isn't new. This isn't the result of some new law that was just passed. This is the IRS using and becoming worse about stuff they've been doing to lots of people.
Well, I think a big problem is that it's not widely known. I mean, thank goodness this is in the New York Times, because now it's raising awareness to an issue that has been going on that most people haven't ever heard about.
These guys who I know and who I trust and who I listen to, who are my thought leaders, they get crap done.